Oh, I gotta go check the phone again to make sure I'm alive. Notice that alive I just did because I wasn't really walking out there. Does it say I'm alive for you?
Yes, it does.
Cool. Because every time I do course, every time I put on the live. Okay, I found it. Can I type on chat? Hi. Okay, yeah, it's working.
Yeah, why do I keep disconnecting?
Just keep moving. Okay, well, now I gotta put on a horror stories because I'm not gonna sit here and be boring horror stories. Alright, who puts it like that? Okay, I guess we're doing animated too.
I'm gonna go watch something a little more intimate.
Unsetting Skibidi Toilet horror animated stories. I'm watching that. I've never watched Skibidi Toilet once in my life. Actually, I just started watching it, but I didn't like it, so I said no. Weird. I don't know how you're addicted to it. The Skibidi toy, what?
Daddy, I want this toy!
My daughter's voice and slight pulling at the corner of my t-shirt turned my head towards her. June is my 5-year-old daughter and my only family. My wife died during childbirth, and now I'm June's everything.
I got my other phone.
I saw her pointing at this miniature Skibidi toilet wrapped in a plastic box.
I'm about to be, and I'm gonna go watch something
weird. I was familiar with the Skibidi toilet trend. For the last few days, it's trending like hot cake on YouTube. But the fact that they've launched toys on this stupid series made me feel weird. I mean, who will feel comfortable with creepy heads popping out of the toilet seat?
Don't ask what I just searched.
Right? Are you sure you want this?
Yes, Dad?
No.
I don't know, kiddo. These popping heads make me feel pretty uncomfortable, you know?
Please, Dad, I won't ask for another toy for a month.
Okay. Let's buy you your own
What
Skibidi
the
heck?
Yay!
June grabbed the box and rushed to the counter. What felt even more weird was that there was only one box of this toy on the shelf. But knowing the increasing popularity of these toilets, I guessed all the other toys had already been sold. While billing our things, the cashier greeted us nicely. The moment we reached home, I could hear June ravaging the box. I watched her as she placed the toilet on her couch.
That he rolled earlier today.
On its side. The toilet lid opened and a bobbling animatronics of a creepy human head popped out of the toilet singing, "Skibidi, skibidi,
Ow!
dum, yes."
So loud.
June clapped in excitement. I don't know what kind of weird joy she derived from that sick toy.
Stop hitting me, Jesus Christ.
I didn't pay much attention to it. The entire day, the annoying Skibidi tune kept echoing in the house. Even after dinner, when I went to sleeping with the Skibidi toilet toy. What is it doing in your bed?
Stop! He said he wanted to cuddle with me while I slept. He'll make sure I'm safe.
I don't want to die.
You want your house, kiddo. This is the safest place you could be. Also, Dad's here to protect you.
That is cow.
Keep the toy aside for the night. You can play with it tomorrow, okay?
Alright, I'm gonna be paying attention to this.
June went to sleep and I placed the toy on her bedstand. Before closing the door of her room, I took a good look at the toy. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten her this.
That is so
I watched
funny.
football for some hours and then went to bed.
What I'm watching, and no, this is gonna get way more sus than what it's out right now.
Dum, yes.
Oh,
I jumped out of my
no.
bed and saw the Skibidi toilet toy sitting on my bed. The bobbling head was going up and down while the annoying music played in the background. What the hell? Thinking it was June's silly prank,
That's
I
the
got really
point!
mad. I rushed to her room, but as I opened the door, I found her peacefully sleeping on her bed. It didn't seem like June woke up after I tucked her in.
Oh, heck
How come this toy arrived in my room? Feeling creeped out.
What is going on?
June?
Hold on, come here. I want to see
She
something. I
rubbed
want
her
to see something.
sleepy eyes and said,
I'm just gonna M1 me.
Hold on, I just want to see how much damage this does. Okay.
"Did you come to my
Damn.
room moments back and leave your toy?
No, Dad.
You sure? You know I don't
Oh,
like lying,
hell
kiddo."
no.
I didn't. Please let me sleep.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Oh, hell no. What the
I
hell?
came out to the living room confused.
Bro, what the
The
hell
toy
is
was in my
going
hand, and I
on?
pressed the button. The bobblehead came out singing the same song.
This is the step bro
Makes
steps.
no
Oh, hell
sense.
no.
Maybe I should just get rid of this toy. I did as I thought. I went to the basement.
No,
and
it's a way
smashed the
weirder
toy with
than
my
that.
hammer.
What did
I know
I
some of
do?
you may think I overreacted.
Slapped
but
me
trust
earlier.
From the very first moment I saw this toy,
Stop,
I
I'm
felt
trying.
an
I'm not even
unknown
paying attention to
fear
my
of
health.
it.
Chill out.
The songs died down as the toy turned
I
into a
like the
broken
part
pulp.
2.
I dumped it on the dustbin and went back to bed. Finally, I could sleep in peace. Sleep came to my eyes as I lay on the bed.
Dad.
I don't remember what time it was, but I woke up hearing June's panic-stricken voice. She was sitting on my bed and calling out to me. "Oh, what is it, kiddo? Why are you up so late?"
Skibbity says you tried to kill him. Why did you do that?
What?
Skibbity said you hit him with a hammer. He never meant to hurt you. Then why did you hurt him, Dad?
As shocked as I was.
Oh, by the way, this
couldn't
stream
come
is
up
literally
with
not
no
even
possible
about
explanation for how my
leveling up
daughter knew
Leo
about
anymore.
this.
It's
When I
literally just
destroyed
about
the
finding
toy, she was in
TTK.
her room, and I also
I'm
had the
trying to go to
basement door
third
locked
ZV.
behind me.
Play me in
I
combat.
sat on the bed and looked at June with
No,
nervous eyes.
bro, you can't go to
Who-
13. We waiting for
who told you
TTK.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Skibbity did.
I need
He's
to
angry
No, we
with
doing it
you.
now.
Saying this,
You
June
can get that
pointed to the
here.
floor, and what I saw made my stomach
Also,
drop.
if I get it
A
now,
perfectly made, brand new
can't
Skibbity
even
toilet
use it.
toy was sitting on the floor.
Well, if
The
it's,
head was peeking
Wando,
through
then
a
I'm
plastic
buying it.
toilet
No, you're
and staring
not.
right at me.
Yeah, I am, because you're doing a different
Playing
thing.
this time,
I've
but
been
I
way too
kid you
much pain.
not,
I'm
that
going through more
toy
pain.
felt so
Then your
freaking
ass better
alive.
stay in the
I picked it
damn
up again, and
fucking
this
second
time I
seat.
put
How
it
are you
back
saying
inside the
second
plastic
season on?
box.
I want to go
No.
back to
Next
third
morning, I went back to the
season.
Walmart with the toy. The
Okay,
cashier
well, if you're gonna go to
greeted me with
third
the
C,
same
then I'm
old
just gonna buy it if
smile
it's
and asked,
Wando.
God
"Welcome
damn
to
it, fine, so you
Walmart.
want to
How can I help you, sir?"
Duh.
Yeah, I'd like to return this
That's
toy.
just how it
This?
works.
But this isn't
I
from
don't
our
want to get it
store.
right now.
What are you saying? I bought it
Well, I
yesterday
do.
from your store. Just take it back. But sir,
What have we
this
done with
toy
it?
has never been launched at Walmart.
Now we gotta go reset the stream.
If you aren't selling these, then how come these toys appearing?
No, but all these kids have Skibbity toilet toys.
Skibbity, bop, bop, bop.
Bro, why?
Yes.
That's squeezy. Skibbity nightmare.
Oh,
Who's texting at this hour? This damn stupid trend. People these days will go crazy over everything, which is brainless and stupid. They will watch it. The internet is becoming a curse.
Oh, what's wrong with my hat?
What does she want now? Stop calling me, Whitney.
Whoa, what do you
But I
want?
miss
from
you.
me?
I can't live without you.
You should have thought that before cheating on me.
I'm sorry, Roger. Please forgive me.
You
Punch
see my
you.
hat?
Just
You
leave
see
me
my
alone.
hat?
Please.
The hat, yeah.
No, the hat is
still
like
love
a
Little
me.
hat.
Praise the
Lady,
color
the
of my
hat is-
eyes on
Oh,
our first
yeah.
date. Don't you remember any of the good
It's not
times?
even on my
I
head.
talked about the color of your eyes on our first date because you had small boobs. Now stop calling me and let me be in peace.
I'm watching a texting story.
I hate you, Roger.
Trust
well,
me,
she
the
hates you.
feeling is mutual.
No. Oh.
Oh, he's gonna open
Yo,
the door.
Willie.
Skibbity toilet's gonna come out while he's peeing, isn't he? Isn't it? It is.
Probably.
And he's oh wait, no, he's flushing. Nothing
What the
happened.
hell? I need to call someone. Seems like my toilet is going to clog pretty soon. Oh no.
Have you ever watched Stranger Things?
Skibbity, 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 skibbity.
In this story, Elle doesn't know what a stripper is.
Oh god. Just a bad dream.
But now, here's the dumb part. He's asking Will, this is in Elle's exact words, what's a stripper? He asked, Will.
What are these?
Oh,
Skibbity,
oh, this is so dumb.
skibbity,
No, just say Skibidi.
Am I still in the dream?
Skibbity,
What the hell is
skibbity.
happening to me?
Well, I need to take off
How
the
do you
head.
Skibbity.
How do you know I called?
This isn't real.
Wait,
It's
why
just a
is
dream.
there like a
It's
ton
just
of
a dream.
like heads coming out?
Skibbity.
That's not like Skibidi.
Ah!
Yeah, there is. It's just a Hydra toilet.
Skibbity.
All they're saying is
Wake up,
Skibidi.
Roger! Wake up! Somebody please wake me up! Skibbity.
Oh, yay. I love this one.
Make it stop! Please! Somebody wake me up!
Oh, no. I hate this one. Never mind.
Skibbity. Skibbity. What did I do to deserve this? Somebody please help me! Skibbity.
So, already saying something gay. Got it.
Go away, you freaking floating heads! Leave me alone! Skibbity.
Yeah, it is Skibidi.
Get off me! Get off me!
Roger, wake up. Why were you screaming like that? Were you having a bad dream?
Yeah.
Oh, Whitney! Thank God!
Oh, hell no. No, I'm actually gonna cry.
Roger, I hope you can forgive me for cheating on you.
I forgive
I'm
you.
gonna cry.
I forgive you for cheating. Just please
No.
don't make me sleep alone.
Relax, babe.
No,
it was
don't.
just an idea.
Connor,
This is why
don't.
I tell you not
Connor,
to watch
I
those
swear to
stupid
God.
toilet videos before bed.
No.
I'll do whatever you say.
Come on, let me take you to the washroom. Maybe you should check the toilet, Roger.
What? What do you mean?
I think you left something in the toilet.
Don't listen, Roger, and Roger not.
Ah!
A shocking and morbid incident has taken place in Nevada. A man named Roger Miller went to the local police station in the middle of the night and confessed to killing his cheating girlfriend and dunking her dismembered head into his toilet. As bizarre as it may sound,
I
the
hate-
cops
I'm never
believe
watching that ever
Roger's guilty
again.
conscience of
'Cause I know
murdering
how
his
that
girlfriend
feels.
drove him to the edge of madness. He
That
couldn't
is
take the
so
mental
wrong. No
turmoil
one deserves
anymore
that.
and decided to
I will not wish that
surrender to
upon
the
my
cops,
worst
so
enemy.
his horrible nightmares come to an end. For more crazy, shocking stories, keep
That
watching
is
IMR
not okay.
Fairy Tales. Be safe and make sure to flush your toilet before you go to bed tonight.
We should have flushed the toilet before you go to bed tonight. Skibidi, man.
Oh.
Last Halloween, I was sitting in my college dorm with a
What
sad
the heck?
face when
Well,
my
you can probably
roommate
roll now,
Pam
can't you?
entered, screaming in excitement.
But even
Halloween
if I do,
party
I can't do
alert!
anything.
I looked at her with the same sad
yeah.
face and replied,
Don't do an introduction.
Oh,
Just
come
get
on,
straight to the
Susie.
dang
You need to
point.
move
That's why you don't have any
on. Jack was
subscribers.
an a-hole and he does not deserve your tears. Just leave me alone, Pam.
she grabbed my hand and pulled
But my
me up from the
non-existent
chair.
YouTube channel has
No,
more subs
I
than
won't
that.
let a babe like you cry over some douchebag. What
Hey,
do
I
you
got swan
want?
glasses again.
You're coming to the Halloween
I
party
haven't
with
gotten
me
it
tonight,
once.
But I don't. No. No buts. You're going, and that's final. Enough of this
Fine.
mourning.
Pam didn't take a no for
I'm gonna
an
kill
answer,
a
and after a
Tykeeper.
point, I didn't have the energy to keep on arguing. She can be very persuasive at times. Honestly, I too
Well,
Well,
thought that
meet
the
you there,
Halloween
or,
party would be a good
either I'll
opportunity
meet
to
you
meet
there or
some
you'll
new
meet me
people.
there.
Oh,
7:30, we left the dorm,
You have
got
an
into my
Xbox.
car, and drove to the party. A boy named Jason was hosting the party at his dad's farmhouse. The location wasn't that far, but it did reside in a secluded area.
Let's see if they figure out the
surrounded by woods
secret.
and lakes. When we reached the farmhouse, the party was in full swing.
Michael.
I was dressed as Wednesday, while Pam went
Let's
as
see if they
Barbie.
figure out the
We
secret.
looked like an odd combination, but I hardly cared. Yo, babes, welcome to my den.
Hi,
Oh,
Jason.
nice.
Hey, Barbie girl, wanna go for a ride?
I don't see any car in your living room.
Well, there's a Ferrari in my pants.
Shut up, Jason.
Come on, let me introduce you.
Oh,
I
hell
could very well see
no,
Pam and
bro.
Jason were about to hook up that night, but Pam was being
Why do
teased.
people say that
She
with
always plays hard to
Stranger
get with boys, and
Things?
somehow
What the
that makes her
fuck?
even more desirable to men. I, being the shy and romantic fool, never mastered the skill of flirting, though.
Bro, I'd rather not say what I just heard
I
on this
followed
board.
Pam to the pool area. People were going crazy at that party. Boys were picking up
Probably.
girls and throwing them into the
Dang it, I
pool.
can't see.
Everyone was dancing
Hello,
like it was the last night of
strawberries.
their lives.
First thing they
I sat
say.
down on a sun
Hello,
lounger with a drink and
strawberries.
watched everyone having a fun time. Pam and Jason went to get drinks, so I was sitting on my own for a while. The casual vibe of the party was
Why do
making me
people
feel at
make this
ease when
kind
I
of
noticed
BS
a man
content?
standing at the other side of the
Gotta go get
pool.
that people's
He was
file.
smiling and staring at girls creepily.
Screw the
What felt
quest.
off was
I
his
need the money,
costume.
because I'm
He
not
was
playing that
dressed
now.
as a skibbity toilet.
Oh
with
my
a
god, he
toilet
left
seat
off
attached around his
He
neck.
left
And
the
not
50
just
mil.
that, on the
No.
toilet seat he wrote,
I'm like,
"Ladies
oh,
have a
I need
seat,"
one
which
mil.
seemed very offensive.
1K.
Suddenly,
No, no,
our
no.
eyes met, and smiles did,
Golly.
just like those
1K,
creepy heads
yeah.
coming out from the skibbity toilets. I got
even here? Oh,
awkward
yeah,
and looked
that's
away
Hawaii.
immediately, but the
Hello.
man now started coming towards
I'm
me.
against him!
Crap. Why is he coming here?
I tried to look
Bro, I know
uninterested,
so
but
many
the man
combos
still
with
approached
Leo.
me.
It
He
is
sat
not
right
even
next to
funny.
me and said, "Skibbity, skibbity, bop, bop."
Hi.
Do you like my style?
Yay, that
It's
gave me 3
ridiculous,
dang
huh?
wrong
Yeah.
sword.
So are you single tonight?
Get the long
I was
sword
feeling very uncomfortable.
Yes,
I got
kill
on
me,
saying,
please.
Thanks,
Yeah.
but I'm not interested.
as I tried to walk away, the man grabbed my hand and stopped me. Oh, wait, where are you going?
Let go of my hand.
But I
Uh-huh.
thought you liked me. You
Oh,
called me to
fuck.
come and talk to you.
What? When did I do that?
Seconds before.
Now I'm gonna
When
go
you looked
kill
at me and
whatever
smiled.
his name is.
I
I
realized
said
this
no.
man was not just weird,
With
but
the right
delusional.
sword this
Just then,
time.
Pam and Jason
You
noticed me
guys,
arguing
man.
with this guy and
Oh,
came
it's
to my
mine.
That's where I'm
rescue.
going though.
Hey, who the hell are you?
As soon as the man saw Pam, he let go of my hand and looked at her like a drooling kid looking at a lollipop. Wow, what a hot
I can't hear my
Barbie.
feet.
Hi, you can call me a skibbity man.
Get away from me. Jason, who is this guy?
Now Jason was stunned to see
Bro,
this
Lord
man
Moon 2 doesn't
at
even
his party,
exist in
and
Demon
it got
Slayer.
quite clear that this man had managed to sneak in without an invitation. Jason got angry and started insulting the man. Who
What
invited
the
you,
heck?
Grandpa? Everyone stopped what they were doing and turned their eyes at Jason and this man. I only wanted to. Whoa! Dude came as a skibbity toilet.
Oh my God.
No wonder he stinks so bad.
It's going to
Everyone
make me
laughed
feel
at the guy
bad,
as
though.
Jason went on
Oh my
humiliating
God,
him.
oh my God,
Honestly,
oh
the
my
man
God.
did break
I'm so
into a party,
scared.
so he had this coming.
I'm gonna hide.
Realizing that he got caught right-handed,
Is he hiding
the man
under the
now
bed?
got nervous. In a fumbling voice, he said,
Stop
I ain't here to hurt nobody. Skibbity, skibbity, skibbity. Damn, the creep
Oh,
even
please,
talks
I'm
like a
sorry.
skibbity
You
toilet.
deserve this. Not please stop. No, this is your punishment. ISS stop.
Oh, you're already here?
In mine. Now is my chance.
Money,
I'm
money,
not
money,
gonna let
money.
it happen in my turn. I'm Alex, what are you doing? Someone help. STOP. Alex, this is my revenge.
Yeah! I have purple man now. Let's go.
Photo.
AG. Alex, it's been 9 hours. I am hurting. This is how I felt.
Dang, bro. Okay, you kill him.
I bet you.
Yay, right sword this time.
Why is this library key big? Like my. Aha! I'm out. Died recently. Damn, I can't even attack you.
There we go. There's a new video. I'm never watching that series again.
What? Skibbity bump bump bump. Yeah.
No, it's
Skibbity boop.
it's something
But the whole
very,
time
very
my back was
wrong.
turned.
Skibbity boop. Skibbity doop. Skibbity doop. Skibbity boop.
Chill out.
35 minutes of these horror stories.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just go watch what's it called? FNAF VHS.
This one. This is weird. Non-cartoon conspiracy theories.
I'm done here. I'm gonna go kill a smoke admiral.
Where's my boat? I lost my boat.
I don't know where your boat is.
Go kill Smokey.
I've been starving for weeks, even months. I remember being out with Wario, who was once my rival, and Waluigi was Luigi's rival. That was years ago. We had just wanted to find something to eat and had been stuck eating every plant on this psychotic world. I don't even know what we've become anymore. It's like the world sees us as a
Okay, now this is gonna be wrong also.
But all I see is a bunch of desperate old decaying men walking on their last legs. We looked everywhere for food, but to no avail. Even with the four of us, there was nothing to be seen. We had spent the last few days together stomping on Goombas and Koopa trees, eating copious amounts of mushrooms and flowers, dodging piranha plants, driving on racetracks, and collecting stacks of cash along the way. But that was all useless when there was no supermarket or grocery store to purchase stuff from. Unfortunately, I fear it may all be coming to a premature end. None of us can remember how long we've been marching here. Jumping, stomping, eating, dodging. Always some new obstacle on our way. Never more rolling hills to climb. It never ends, no matter how far we go. It's driving me mad, and I know it's getting to the others, too. I don't know how much longer we can keep going like this. We're all starting to starve. A man can only sustain himself on mushrooms alone for so long, but even as weak as we become, we can't stop. Nobody will say it, but we all know that if we
Don't kill him without
we
me.
must have been in here for years, like we entered some sort of trance or time slip. I don't know. I was never the smart one. That was Luigi. All I know is we've aged significantly over time since we got here. I guess this is the only way to defeat the unbeatable team of Mario and Luigi. But then, just as we were all on the brink of collapse, salvation seemed to appear on the horizon. A green tube, but this one was strange. There was smoke billowing out of it, like it was a chimney. The land beyond seemed equally as endless as the land before. And if this was the middle, there was no chance we could ever make it to the other side. But who would risk going down a tube that had to have fire somewhere at the bottom? Even if we were all desperate enough to do so, who would be the first to go? We had to decide.
I don't know if this is a good idea. We should just keep going.
What?
How do you expect us to keep going? We can't make it another 10 feet. I need to eat. Oh, me too.
Elizabeth.
Smells good. It smells
It's
like
a nerd.
food.
What if it is food? Would you jump
Yay!
fire?
You're right. It could be dangerous.
I don't care about danger. I can't stand to eat one more mushroom. Look at me. I can't live off these flowers and
Where
chocolate.
you
Why
is?
don't you go down first?
Wait a second. That's not fair. We should
Take
let
me
fate
with
decide.
you.
So be it.
We all followed suit, but none of us had steady hands. There was so much eagerness, yet so much fear.
Star mushroom missile.
And just
Okay,
like
fuck
that,
it.
fate was clear. We all tied with stars while Wario
Yeah.
lost with the missile. All credit to him, he didn't put up a fight.
If I'm not back in an hour, then I'm gone.
We saluted him as he left us, then we waited. It felt so wrong to be on the green and to be just sitting there, not going anywhere or doing anything, just waiting. An hour passed before we knew it, but there was no sign of Wario. We kept waiting, letting a whole day pass before we admitted he wasn't coming back.
We have to play again. Are you crazy? If Wario didn't survive, then none of us will.
Maybe there's no way back. If this is the exit, it could be a one-way trip. Besides, we're too weak to go on. It has to be.
Let's just get on with it.
Star mushroom missile. Wah, screw you, Schema Bright. I bet you coordinated that.
Don't be ridiculous, Waluigi. Get in the hole. I would if Princess was around.
Shut up and get in. You're wasting time.
Unfortunately, just like before, hours and hours went by and Waluigi never returned. We worried for our friends, but we selfishly cared more about our stomachs. One of us even more than the other.
Can I have a bite?
A bite of what? There's nothing to eat.
Well, that's not totally true. You got 10 fingers. Couldn't you spare one for your dear old brother?
What? Hell no.
But I'm so hungry.
I don't care. You can't eat me.
Wait, 40 seconds
You're
till
right.
stock
You're my
resets.
brother.
I'll take the
wouldn't
dart.
hurt you. Just forget I said that. Just close your eyes and get some rest.
Screw you. You're trying to trick me. Why don't you go jump in that hole?
Suddenly, my own brother attacked me, trying to push me down that tube. I fought back with all the strength I had left and managed to kick him off. But then, he stumbled backwards and tripped over the tube and fell straight in.
Bro,
Did you hear about the new guy in school?
After that, it was just me.
I hear that
waited
his
for
skin is
so
pale
long. Was it
and have a white
days,
hair,
months,
and he's a
years?
sleepy
I
guy.
don't know. All I could see were the wrinkles on my
Of
skin
course.
as it started to
5,
take
4,
Everything is
3,
I also
2,
watched what was going on.
1.
I tried to resist the temptation, but it eventually became
need to be
clear
so
that there was
harsh.
only one course of
Alright,
action.
what's the
Before I
message?
could second guess
Stop.
myself again,
Spider,
I
hooray,
closed my
kill
eyes
me.
and jumped in. A few seconds later, I dropped into a hellish place. The ground was scorching. The walls were made of fire. The rivers ran with lava. And scattered around where I stood were the
Like, saw
skeletons
a
of my
game
friends
on
and my
the
brother.
stands.
I didn't even have time to mourn before I heard the roar. I turned around and saw Bowser charging at me.
Oh, rest in peace, Mario.
I already started hating this movie up.
Goku. Hey, it's me, Goku. Hey, it's me.
Oh my
This
god.
time on Dragon
Where
Ball
was this
Z,
coming?
the greatest warrior to ever grace the earth, Goku has to embark on a torturous journey in finding out if his not-so-faithful
I'm gonna bully this short ass.
Chi is a thought. Goku goes on to decipher a deadly love triangle that may put multiple lives in jeopardy in
Well,
the Dragon Ball Z lair.
look
Join
who's
Goku
here.
on his quest to finally discover
You don't need to
peace
know
once
me,
and for all.
dumb
Now
nerd.
on Dragon
The nerd's
Ball
quite
Z.
smart. No, they aren't. They're quite dumb and ugly, just like you.
Oh God!
Who are you
Oh
calling
God!
ugly?
2 o'clock! I
Ugly,
can't
you
believe I
think you
slept so
know
late.
Excuse me. Who let you talk back to me, you little short ass?
Don't say
Well,
anything. I need you to
someone
stay
that I know
quiet.
is your
My
mom.
husband's gonna be here any minute now.
Let me talk
Oh
back to you.
God! Oh God! My
Fatherless,
face and
no
hair are
milk,
such a
easy
mess.
ass.
He was
One more
totally
word about my
right
dad,
there. Best
and
one
you're
minute
already
of
to
my
heaven.
life. Anything
No, you
better than
fatherless.
Goku's
Give me your lunch money
5
now.
seconds.
That ain't gonna
Saiyan
happen.
isn't so
I won't give my
super
money
with
for an
his
emo
mini
poor ass
Dragon
bitch. Go find money by
Bro,
yourself.
his little sensu
I ain't
bean
gonna
and
watch
not
you
just
starve
his
this
hair and
time.
muscles.
You
Yes,
eat in front
yes,
of me.
I'm still gonna cook you
Or
breakfast. Just shut
you know
up
who
and
I
wait
am?
here. After you finish, you need to
no.
call an Uber and
I'm new
leave,
here.
okay?
Of course.
I am so
Are you
tired of
stupid?
these men always
I'm
thinking
the
they're so
principal's
entitled
son,
to get their Dragon
and my
Balls
dad is a
charmed,
millionaire,
and then expect a
so I can do whatever I want.
gourmet cuisine
And
after.
You think I will get scared so
Buy a
easily?
Piccolo helmet toy and
Your
do
dad
the damn
isn't
job
scaring me.
myself.
Oh, Grammy, you're going down. Oh,
That's it.
Oh no! It's
Sassy.
him! Keep quiet over there!
Wait.
My husband is
Oh,
calling
Nick,
me!
where did she go?
Good morning, dear.
I don't know where
So
to
great
hide
to
from
see
this
you.
creep.
Good morning.
Mama?
It's 2 in the afternoon. Did you just wake up?
No, I'm just having a lazy day.
Vic,
Looks
Vic,
like
Vic,
hot
Vic,
garbage.
Vic, Vic.
You didn't
Please
just
let me
wake
go.
up, then what were you doing to end up looking like that?
Like what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Are you seriously scared of darkness?
And if Vegeta's there, you and me are
Aren't
gonna
you
have
scared?
a problem.
What?
We can be locked here
I thought you
forever.
weren't supposed to be home until
What if
the
this
evening.
locker is
Plans
nobody's?
change.
What are we gonna
Anything
do?
with that, or are you hiding something?
No, no, of course not.
Calm
You know
down.
I can tell when you're
This
lying
locker can be
from the
someone's.
sound of your voice.
We aren't gonna die,
Talking about.
and I ain't gonna eat you because I got stuck.
Nobody's here but me,
And do you have fear
myself,
of darkness
and my
or something?
hearing aid downstairs.
I have nyctophobia.
Gone for
So
only
is this
2
why he's
days.
trying to
You
tremble?
wait that long, you stupid thought? No, you just had
Oh,
to get in bed
I
with
didn't
my
know my
best
brother
friend
got a
Vegeta,
boyfriend.
didn't you? I told him to look
Yes,
after
you-
things while I was
because
gone, not to
you got
replace
scared.
me,
Don't
and
block him
certainly
ever
not to
again in
sleep
darkness.
with my wife.
He has
It's not
nyctophobia,
Vegeta.
and
Oh,
help me take
really?
you to our
Then
house.
who is it? Krillin?
All right.
I don't sleep with kids.
This
I mean,
is
I only
so
sleep with you.
gay.
Vegeta, I know you're cheating
Oh,
on
God.
me. It's been obvious
Nightmare
for
again.
months.
Why am I
All of a
liking
sudden,
you?
you and Vegeta are always late to
Oh, you
everything.
finally woke
You're
up?
spending
Huh?
way too much
Where am I
time
liking
together to
you
fool
again?
me. That's
I
my
forgot.
best friend.
Mastery on Leo.
Now you're
In my house
both
up
dirty
to me.
traitors.
Where else
I'm
you
not
want me in a basement?
cheating on you, I
Anyway.
swear.
Are you hungry?
Oh,
Yes.
no, he's on his
Starving.
way.
All right, follow
Oh,
me.
thank God, this is an hour
Don't say a
long.
word
Finally,
when he
something
gets
that's
here.
actually long and I can watch it.
So what do you want to eat?
Hey,
Open the door right
I
now.
hope he says I really want some salad.
He's here.
I hope because I can't cook and I can burn the house
I know
down.
you're in there.
Hello?
Vegeta, I know you're in there too.
Oh.
Take your
Hey.
hairline
What did you
ass
say?
outside. Let's
I
handle
zoned
this
out
like
for a
real
moment.
Saiyans.
I really want salad.
Calm down, please.
Well,
Let's just
that's
talk
fine,
about
but
this.
So you
the problem is that I can't cook.
You
Oh.
traitorous
Who's the
trap.
dumb and ugly nerd now?
No,
Well, at
that's
least
not
I can
what
make a
I
cup
meant.
noodle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
That's
gonna
why
kill
you tried to
that.
make a cup of noodle. Fainted.
Listen,
No.
Ho, if you don't open this door, I'll destroy you, Vegeta, the house, everything will be gone.
Goku, I'm not gonna open the door while you're being unreasonable. Please, just calm down.
Unreasonable? I'll show you unreasonable.
Unreasonable power.
No, don't do it. Goku, stop. Please. Goku, please. I'll let you smack me with your Dragon Balls if you simmer down. Goku, how could you?
And one more to put the nail in the coffin.
Shut the fuck up. May.
No, not again. Don't do this. Please, spare me, Daddy.
Huh? Oh, it's Vegeta. What do you want? I thought you were with Chi-Chi.
What the hell are you talking about? I was calling to see if
This
you wanted
is
to
so gay.
Wait, no, don't you dare beat him to a pulp.
Both sound good.
Awesome. Meet me at Frieza's
This is
den.
so dumb.
Here's my pay for lunch.
I'm sorry, babe. I don't know what got into me. I really thought you were banging Vegeta on the side. Chi-Chi, look at me. I'll make this all up to you later tonight, okay? I'll give you my special beam cannon in the bed. Oh, and by the way, those eggs are burning.
Huh?
I will shout out at you whenever.
Tisk tisk. Good old Chi-Chi, always wasting the groceries I paid for.
I'm sorry, Goku. I won't do it again.
All right, catch you later, sweetheart.
No.
Can you the gay asses shut the fuck up already? Because I came here to scare a kid, not to listen to their arguments.
Did Majin Buu really turn Chi-Chi into breakfast and eat her? Did Goku and Chi-Chi remain a thing?
You gotta-
Constant
You
infidelity.
guys are a
Find
bunch
out
of
in the next
weirdos,
episode
and this Emma's sister and her friends are weird. So yeah, y'all are a bunch of weirdos. I'll never come back, y'all are living hell.
Nobody gives a fuck, you damn demon game. Is this a horror movie?
Yeah.
I love horror movies.
I woke up to the ground shaking.
Maybe the lights
At
turned
first
off.
I thought it was an earthquake,
It's normal.
so I took shelter
They
under
turned
my
off
bed
because
frame.
it's raining.
I called for my
You wanna
parents, but nobody answered. Then, as quickly
Alright,
as it started,
let's lay on
the
the bed.
shaking stopped. Even though I knew there might be an aftershock, I got up and ran to the front to see if the neighbors. But when I opened the door, I realized it wasn't an earthquake at all. I wasn't even on Earth anymore. I was flying away from it. All the shaking was from the whole house being ripped off its foundation. But by what I went, and how. I looked up and saw what must have been a million balloons strapped to the top of the house, lifting it into the sky. With every passing second, the ground was getting farther away. I
Damn, this
screamed
other
for help
phone's
from anybody
oversleeping.
down on the ground, but it was useless. Nobody could even hear me. And if they could, there was nothing they could do. Suddenly, a huge gust of turbulence rocked the house, nearly throwing me right out the front door. I managed to catch myself at the last second and got a good look at the fall I almost had. I started to feel nauseous,
No, we
so I
would let
stepped
the
back
monkey
and slammed the door shut, locking it to keep it from flying open no matter how windy it got. Then, there was nothing but the sound of the wind outside, all the way up in the sky. There was no electricity or plumbing, so no lights, no fans, none of the comforts of home. Just a shell of it, full of nothing but darkness. I turned around to go looking for my parents when I saw him standing at the end of the hallway. A mean and scary-looking old man who
I'm
looked
back.
familiar for some reason. I had no idea who he
God, no,
was.
it's
I only knew that his lifeless stare gave me the creeps. That, and I was trapped in this floating house with him, with no way of calling for help from anybody on the ground. I just hoped I wasn't completely alone with him. Hello? Who are you? Why are you in my house? Where are my parents? Hey, come on, why aren't you saying anything? And why is my house floating away on balloons? No matter what I tried to say, that creepy old man wouldn't talk to me. Then, for no reason at all, charged at me. It was actually pretty easy to get out of the way. The old man was slow and clumsy. I ran circles around him to keep him from grabbing me, but I knew I couldn't run forever, so I found a place to hide. While he wasn't looking, I crept into the linen closet in the hallway. From there, I listened. For some reason, this man was searching for me like mad. I could hear him getting more and more enraged because he couldn't find me. Grumbling at first, then shouting, then smashing things all over the house. I hoped he would tire himself out, but even though he was frail, he never gave up. Once the kitchen and the living room were destroyed, he stumbled back out into the hall. I held my breath as I heard his footsteps approaching, about to pass right by the closet. But then, he stopped. My heart pounded and I kept a hand over my mouth to keep quiet. The old creep then turned and looked right through the wooden slats of the door, but I couldn't tell if he saw me or not. It was almost like he was trying to literally sniff me out. I wondered if he could smell my fear, if that would give me away. But thankfully, after an eternal moment, he kept going. I finally breathed a sigh of relief and started to think about my next move, only for the door to swing open as the man barged in and grabbed me. He chucked me down the hall, sending me sliding across the floor. In an instant, he was hovering over me.
Don't tell anyone about me or anything I did, you got it? If you do, I promise you'll regret it. And don't ever forget to take your medicine again. Don't be an idiot. All you have to do is take one little pill every day. Is that too hard for you, you imbecile?
No, it's not. I'll do it. I promise I won't forget again. And I won't tell anyone.
Help us. I didn't know, but more than anything, I didn't want to be trapped there all alone. I had to go check, even if it was just a trick. I picked myself up off the floor and walked to the door, then opened it to me.
I thought you were having another episode.
I'm sorry. I promise I'll keep it down. I guess the whole time I was just in my bedroom. I know I have a really overactive imagination, but I don't like...
Oh, that's so funny. I don't want... This one.
Where are you?
I have no clue. I'm just looking for you.
I'm going to my
Why are
factory.
there so much people with Mickey Skibby Toilet? All this story is.
This is abandoned?
Yes, it...
Spooky, scary skeletons.
And shivers down your spine.
Copyright is the song or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, everything's copyrighted.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Before we get into the stories, I need to give a warning for story number 4 for child abuse. I just wanted to let you all know before we get into the stories. As always, if any of you want to share your own story, you can send it at southerncannibal.com. Without any more interruptions, let's get into the stories. And remember to always stay hungry. I'm a 19-year-old female. During my second year of college, I had a distressing encounter on my way home. The routine was simple. A 20-minute bus ride.
This is the most
A walk
boring
through a
stream
narrow path to
ever.
reach a set of railway tracks. And then waiting
Ow,
on the opposite
you're
side
not
for my
that
mother to
good.
pick me up. My mother had always warned me to be careful about this spot.
That's because
A known hangout
legendary
for
sword
substance
dealer.
abusers, though I'd never encountered anyone out of the ordinary. One day, as I walked in my usual waiting spot, I noticed a guy probably in his mid to late 20s glancing at me and something further away while walking off. I found it to be strange, but I dismissed it. Arriving in my waiting spot, I realized I was alone. It didn't raise alarms
You're at the
because it was
purple
during a
man,
period when
Rocky
things
now.
were gradually returning to normal after the COVID-19 pandemic. Minutes passed, and I heard an
I'm
unsettling
gonna go
sound.
drink some coffee
A
because
cough,
now I'm
despite
illegally
no one else being
obligated to.
around.
How do I drink coffee?
I turned to
How
find
do I
a
drink
man
coffee?
probably in his late 30s or early
You
40s
grab.
behind a secluded pillar, dressed too well to be
I
a
don't know.
total troublemaker. To my horror, he was now engaged in pleasuring himself, clearly wanting me to witness it. Shocked and frozen, I didn't know what to do.
Okay, I'm on phone. Alright, chat, I'll be back. Alright. Oh. I can't hear you. Hey. Well. There you know. What? Fine. I need to go make coffee. They will good coffee made. That's good for passion. That's good. Michael, stop! You're not drinking coffee. Tired. Yeah. Okay, well, back to the computer. Oh gosh. Well, don't ask me. Alright. I'm back on computer. Because someone wants to be the lame cough cough angel.
My boyfriend at the time and I were in a long-distance relationship, and none of my friends lived close by either. Desperate for help, I texted my ex-boyfriend who worked in the building right in front of me. We were on good terms, or so I thought. His response shocked me. Why are you asking me for help? I'm not your boyfriend anymore. Go ask your current boyfriend. Feeling truly helpless by my ex's unexpected response, I could still see the man in my peripheral vision continuing in his inappropriate behavior, all while maintaining an uncomfortable gaze upon me. Summoning my courage, I decided to move forward, walking towards a spot where other people were present, seeking safety. In retrospect, I wish I had taken a video of him in the act to serve as evidence and reported the incident to the police. However, my initial shock prevented rational thinking. Despite continuing the same route, I never encountered that man again. It dawned on me that the first guy had probably seen the indecent act, but chose to silently walk away, leaving me to deal with the unsettling situation alone. My heart goes out to the family of that creepy man.
40 minutes.
What if they don't know anything about his malicious acts and consider him the best son, husband, or father, all while he lurks behind the shadows?
Oh my god. I think you got that much mastery on my place with 44
For a bit of context, I need to
Bro, you remember the
transportation
Quake video? It took
works
an
in the
hour
area
and
where I
50
live.
minutes just to get the mastery.
So where I live, the public transportation is absolute shit. There's only one not very reliable public bus that takes you in and out of the residential area and is a long way walking.
I know where the boss
So
is.
the people in this residential area came up with a cab sort of system where you pay by the seat. So one of these cabs fits up to 4 people. And a little under a year ago, they decided to identify these cabs with a sticker with a number that states the car as part of the cab line. Also, the drivers have to have an ID that has the cab line info. Now on to the story. A couple of times men have tried to give me a ride. I do my best to ignore them, but sometimes it's a little scary. The part of the residential area where I live is a little bit isolated, so not a lot of cars or people go through there, and I have to walk alone from my house to the cab line / bus stop. And one opportunity a couple of months ago, I was walking from my house to the stop, and I was wearing headphones, so I wasn't paying that much attention. That was the first mistake on my part, and a car pulled over next to me. This wasn't all that strange because
we've
I've
been
using
talking
this
for like
cab line
30,
for a while,
way longer than
and
30
all of
minutes.
the drivers know me, and if they see me, they
30
pull over
hours.
so I don't have to walk all the way to the stop. The driver then said,
Hey, are you going to a place of destination?
I said yes, and I got inside the car without even checking the windshield for the ID number. Second mistake on my part. Here's where alarms started going off in my head. First, the cars in the line tend to be older cars with no AC. And this was a newer car. And when I got in, he locked the doors and turned on the AC. It was at this point I realized that this wasn't one of the cabs, but a complete stranger. He began to ask me things like my name, exactly where I lived, and other personal things. I responded very vaguely with my heart beating really fast. I was starting to panic. So I texted a friend my location, and I told him to call me ASAP. At this point, we were close to the destination, and the guy wasn't slowing down the car and was about to pass the stop. Then the call came through, and I started to talk to my friend like he was my boyfriend.
Hey baby, I'm almost there. Just wait for me and then we'll go, okay?
My friend was really confused, but when the man heard my conversation, he suddenly stopped the car, then saying,
Sorry, I was so entertained talking to you that I almost passed the stop.
Dang
Maybe we
it!
can see each other again sometime.
Then
My
he
phone
locked the
died.
car,
I'll be
and I
back.
bolted out, barely even saying anything. After that day, I became much more aware of my surroundings, and I tend to only get inside the cabs in the stop unless I clearly see the ID of the car. A couple of my friends said that I was overreacting, but still, it scared the shit out of me. Then today comes. I was walking from my house to the stop, no headphones in this time, and when I'm halfway there, a car starts driving very slowly next to me. I keep on walking, and this older man that was driving starts talking to me.
Hey, are you Alicia's daughter? Do you live around here?
I responded with, no, I'm not, and I keep on walking. He just insisted, saying he was a neighbor and that he could give me a ride. I replied again that I wasn't, and that I didn't want the ride. Mind you, my mom wasn't called that and has been dead for over a decade. And my grandma that people sometimes confuse to be my mom is also not called that either. He kept insisting, and I began walking faster, approaching the stop where there were more people. It was at this point that this man became angry and started to yell, saying this was the last time he would be nice to me and offer me a ride. He then sped up and finally left. That's when I got to the stop to get inside the cab that left me at my destination. When I got to work, I had told my boss all about that encounter, and she said to me, "Thank God you kept on walking, or you probably could have been kidnapped." So yeah, that was my morning. I really need a car. When I was 9, I went to the beach with my grandma and my 2 dogs, a lab mix and a boxer mix. The hotel room I was staying in was on the ground floor, meaning that I had a glass door from the living room that faced the lawn and patio area. One afternoon, my grandma and I went down to the beach. For reference, you had to walk down an extremely long pier to get to the stairs that led to the beach. And next to those stairs was a deck where you could sit and watch the beach. As I was walking down, holding my boxer mix on a lead while my grandma had the lab mix, a chihuahua hopped out on the deck area, startling my boxer. The couple sitting there was an old one, and I remember the old man was wearing a red Hawaiian shirt. My grandma did small talking with them, and I really just wanted to go to the beach, and my dog seemed on edge, but I just assumed it was because of the chihuahua. After playing on the beach for a while, I made friends with a girl my age who was also staying at my hotel and went to the same preschool as me. After my dogs had finally started to get tired of playing, I had made plans to hang out with that girl that very same night, and we left for our room. When the sun had set and I had picked up the game Twister from the lobby, my grandma went to sit on the deck overlooking the beach with my lap, while the boxer stayed with me. I walked up to the 3rd floor.
See how long till I can roll? 49 minutes, good lord!
It was dark now, but the hallways were well lit.
Yes!
When we got into my room, my friend and I started playing Twister. But a couple of minutes after we started the game, my boxer had started
Why do we even need it?
which spooked us. Since the lights were off on the patio, we
One
couldn't
more
see
hour,
anything.
what do you mean?
But I did check anyways. I didn't see anything when I looked out the window, so I assumed there was just a dog outside. To calm my dog down, I had asked my friend to go grab a treat for her. As we grabbed a treat, my dog had peed all over the mat on the game. Looking back, the barking and the peeing on the game was a huge red flag.
No, bro, we're not ending this until you get 600 mastery.
And she had already been to use the bathroom right before this. Since our game night was now ruined, my friend went back to the room after helping me clean up the mess as best as I could.
What do you, okay, well, do you not want the TTK or
I
not?
decided to walk out to the pier so I could tell my grandma about the mess.
Okay, then go grind
As
mastery,
I
I'll
walked
get
past
it.
the patio area to get to the pier's entrance, I saw the same old lady from before with her chihuahua. She was sitting with 5 other people, and there were
we
a
both
ton of beer
out?
cans, but the old man from earlier wasn't there. I didn't really care because it didn't matter. I started walking down the pier, and it was now pitch black, and there was no lighting. so I had all of my focus on where I was going. I was really afraid of the dark back then, and I still kind of am now, and I just had this sense of dread. I felt like I was being followed, but I just chalked it up to being afraid of the dark. I did start to walk faster though, and I refused to look back because I wanted to prove to myself that I could brave the darkness. As I reached the end of the pier where the deck was, my lab popped out and started barking aggressively. I thought that I had spooked her, so I knelt down and pet her. But when I sat down next to my grandma, she had then told me something that made my stomach drop. There was a man behind me when my lab had started barking. The same man wearing a red Hawaiian shirt. Needless to say, I was freaked out. But my grandma just said that he probably just had too much to drink and mistook me for someone else, and that my dog made him come back to his senses. I didn't fully believe this, but it at least gave me an explanation to help calm myself down. I never saw that couple or their friends again, and I definitely closed the curtains to the patio at night. I still wonder what would have happened if my dog didn't pop out and scare that guy, or if my grandma wasn't on the deck but down on the beach. But the thought that scares me the most is what if I had turned around or slowed down on the pier? Who knows what could have happened to me?
Getting comboed over here.
This may be a long one with a brief description of a few encounters. Here goes. Here's a bit of background about myself in order for you to understand why I did a few. For the record, I'm 27 years old today, and I'm a female. My mom and dad got a divorce when I was 7 years old. Not the trigger here, as a divorce is so common these days. But in the same year, not even a month after, my mom got in a relationship with another guy. Let's call him Sergeant. Now, I know a lot will speculate that Sergeant and my mom had an affair, and that is the reason that she and my dad split up. But that wasn't the case, as my mom and dad weren't together for a long time before they got divorced. You see, my dad was abusive towards my mom and sister. My sister Tanya is 9 years older than me, making me the literal baby of the family. So I never got abused by my dad. But one day Tanya wrote my mom a letter that if my mom didn't leave my dad, she'd kill herself. I also want to mention that she was 15 at the time. My mom immediately moved out of my dad's place and into another home with me and my sister, in effect, leaving him but undivorcing him. Back to 1 year later when Mom and Sergeant got together, and she and my dad got a divorce. Sergeant was in the military. He lived in another city that was approximately 236 miles away from my family's hometown.
He's fighting Fajito
every
over there.
weekend. Buy her flowers, and just be the perfect guy she never had. Well, when I was 9, my mom moved Tanya and I away from our town and into the house of Sergeant. This was the final school year for Tanya, and she would now have to move to another school. So yeah, it was tough, and she really kept busy most of the time trying to catch up with schoolwork and making friends. Because of the major age gap, Tanya and I never got along. I was the typical little sister trying to be friends with my sister, and she would always push me away, sometimes even making things up that I did just to get me in trouble so that I would just leave her alone.
No, legit tripping, I need that.
Taught me, and whenever I retaliated, she would run to Sergeant and tell him and my mom that I was being a brat and being super disrespectful. I would then get in trouble even though I didn't initiate the fight. This would happen often, until she left to go study. So yeah, back to the punishment when I got in trouble. You see, my mom had never dished out punishment. She left that up to Sergeant. And he would hit you in the bum until your bum was blue and red with swelling. I think one time his grip slipped, and he actually landed a blow on my back. You may wonder what the hell he used to hit me with. Well, it was the regular old belt, and sometimes one of those chain link belts. Sergeant wasn't fit to be a parent. He didn't have any kids of his own, and the only discipline he knew was what he was taught in the military. He was the typical guy. You have to put the toilet paper on the roll and fold the tip into the triangle. No light must be left on if the room isn't being used. And whenever something is asked of you, you're expected to immediately drop everything and obey. And by everything, I mean everything. Even if, say, for example, you were doing some business in the toilet. He also didn't want anything to be out of place. Anyway, I would get punished immediately each time Tanya would tell on me without question. When I tried to explain my side, I would get hit even harder, and then more times when I was then being told I may not talk back. So yeah, eventually I completely drew back into my shell, and I didn't really speak to my sister at all anymore, even if she came to me and tried to coax out a reaction from me. After Tanya left for studies,
My eyes
I was around 10
hurt.
at this time, and Sergeant couldn't use her tattles to punish me anymore, so he got creative. When I forgot the bathroom light on, he would drag me from my room by my hair to the bathroom, yell at me, and then start hitting me. When I would leave a toy out, he would hit me.
Oh, hit me.
When I would do basically anything that wasn't up to his standards, he would hit me. Now, I would complain to my mom, but she would always tell me that I asked for it, that I was out of line and he was disciplining me. So yeah, I eventually
A
stopped talking to
very,
my mom
very
as well.
short time.
So right around the time when I was 12, I was still getting hit by Sergeant, and I got emotionally shut down. By this stage, Sergeant and my mom had gotten married. I no longer felt the pain, as I started smoking in secret. And I would start looking at Sergeant in the eyes when he hit me, refusing to show pain and not crying when he was hitting me. This would piss him off even more, and the beatings at this stage got even more intense. So much so that I started bleeding one time. But still, I would refuse to cry, refuse to say a word, and just look him in the eye while he was hitting me. At some stage, Sergeant and my mom found out that I was smoking, and then obviously I would get beaten even more. But I never stopped. I tried to hide it, and sometimes they would smell the smoke on me, and then the hitting started again. This cycle was until I was 14. Then Sergeant got tired of not getting anything out of the beatings, so he started verbally abusing me instead, saying things like, "You're really fucked up. No wonder your mom doesn't love you." I, as usual, didn't show emotion. Now keep in mind, I wasn't even a problem child. I didn't sneak out and drink. I never went to parties.
Yeah, so
I
quiet
didn't do
for
drugs.
so long.
Hell, I didn't even have sex until I was 22. Cigarettes were the only bad thing that I did, and it was a coping mechanism. I was a quiet child.
My phone
always in
died
my room,
again.
Never
Thank
spoke to my
God.
mom, sister, or Sergeant, because it felt like the three of them had made some kind of pact to make my life hell. For example, while Sergeant and my mom were still only dating, which I think I was around 8 at the time, I cried about something, like full-on cry with snot running out of my nose and everything. My mom and Tanya laughed at me and said nasty things that I can't even recall. Then my mom grabbed a sock and stuffed it in my mouth. I can't recall if she put tape over it or if she held my hands back or why, but I couldn't get the sock out of my mouth. I just remember that I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't get the sock out. I remember getting more frantic, and the more frantic I got, the less I could breathe, and the more Tanya and my mom would laugh at me. So yeah, back to when I was 12, I really saw my family as the enemy, and I locked myself away in my room to try and stay safe. My dad and I still saw each other every school vacation, and since he was 380 kilometers away, I couldn't go on weekends. He was super nice to me, and at this stage, the only good thing in my eyes going for me. I told him all about Sergeant's beatings, and my dad actually did threaten Sergeant at some point to stop hitting me, but Sergeant didn't stop, and eventually, I stopped complaining to my dad. I mean, what is the use? My mom has custody, and she isn't stopping Sergeant. Sergeant's abuse, both verbal and sometimes physical, continued until I was 17. Then he got a job
Made it back
overseas, and
alive.
he would come home for short periods of time, and during that time I would go stay at friends or family. But the thing is, even though Dad never hit me or verbally abused me, I still felt empty. He would always only want to know how Tanya's doing. Remember, he did abuse Tanya and Mom, so Tanya never visited or saw my dad for years. I think 5 years after the divorce. My dad realized that he really messed up with abusing them, and he did repent and never again abused anyone in his life after that. He also said he was sorry, and he did show remorse. But every time I would visit him, remember, this is my safe haven at this stage, but he wouldn't give me any attention. He would just talk about Tanya, go out to clubs, and socialize with his friends. He would take me with him to the bars, as he didn't have any sitters, and he would then just push money in my hands and say go buy sweets or keep yourself busy. So yeah, that's my little family dynamic. So let's get into the shady stuff now. 1. Remember, I started smoking at age 12. Well, when I was at my dad's and he handed me money to go buy sweets, I went to go buy cigarettes instead. I think I was 13 then. Anyway, I went to a store about 1 kilometer away from the bar he was at. I ran into a shady character on my way there. He kept following me from the opposite side of the street. The walk to the shop was dark, as a few of the street lights were off. I walked faster, but the stranger kept pace. Less than a block from the shop, the stranger crossed the road and came up to me. This guy came up to me and asked me for directions on a dark
We're gonna
street.
wait in cafe for the next
I told
hour.
him that I didn't know the place that he was referring to, and he then kept insisting that I go with him and that I show him around. After what felt like forever, I pointed to the store, and I then said I was needed at that store, that I can't stand here much longer or otherwise people will wonder why I'm not at the store yet. He just said okay, no worries, and walked away. I then went to the store, bought my cigarettes, and started my journey back to the bar to where my dad was. This time, however, I kept an eye out, but I didn't see the man again. When I was right in front of the bar, the same man stepped out of nowhere, this time being more forceful that I go with him and show him where the place is. I think it was a motel that he was looking for. I told him that I don't know, and that my dad is right inside. I then pointed to the bar, and that he'll definitely know if he wants to ask him instead. But he didn't make one move to go towards the bar. Right when I started panicking, someone came out of the bar door, drawing this man's attention away from me. That's when I then booked it inside the bar to go to my dad. I didn't tell my dad about the encounter, as I didn't want to get in trouble for going to buy cigarettes. Anyway, about half an hour later, this guy comes into a bar with a buddy of his, and they just have a drink, both eyeing me. I ended up staying attached to my dad's hip for the whole rest of the night, and those strangers never did approach me or my dad again. This happened back in 2020. I'm a female, and I was 19 years old at the time. My mom used to be a baker, and she needed some chocolates for decoration. Since my siblings were asleep, my mom had asked me to get some from the nearby shop. As it was close by, I thought I'd just walk. Most of the shops that I went to were closed due to an ongoing strike. Unfortunately, I was unaware of it, and the ones that were open didn't have the brand of chocolate that my mom wanted. Due to the strike, the place had really looked like a ghost town, with not a soul in sight. I was determined though to get that chocolate, so I walked a bit further but still had no luck. Then finally, I decided to head home. I could reach home either by a long route or a short one. Since the short route includes trespassing through the neighbor's property, I chose the long route, mainly because I didn't want to cause any inconvenience to them. As I was walking, a van with two men passed me and stopped right in the middle of the road, just a couple of meters ahead of me. I didn't think much of it because I assumed they might be lost and looking for directions. Suddenly, the man sitting in the passenger seat stuck his head out of the window, turned back, and then looked at me. His gaze moved in a way that he examined me from head to toe. He then gave me a creepy smile and sat back. Since it seemed harmless, I just brushed it off and continued walking. As I was about to reach the back of the van, the driver did the exact same thing as the guy in the passenger seat. He stuck his head out the window, turned back to look at me, and sat back. all while smiling very creepily.
Let's see who wins.
That's when my
Leopard Boy
alarm
or
bell
Buddha
started to
Boy?
ring, and I quickly moved away from there.
Leopard Boy.
Fortunately, this happened right
see.
beside the short route. I immediately changed my direction and started walking towards the short route, which was a narrow path. As soon as they noticed me taking a different route, they sped off. I was quite shaken up by this, especially by the fact that they sped off the very moment I took the short route. I'm not sure what they were planning to do with me, but considering the area looked pretty deserted and I'm lightweight, I would have been an easy target for abduction, or something worse. Thanks to my obsession with true crime podcasts, I reacted quickly. Otherwise, I might not have been here to type this out. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking.
I don't want to be here.
Just wanted to ask for directions, because I've had several people ask me that.
I'm not even gonna talk.
Well, even if they wanted to ask for directions, they could have when I reached the back of the van, because I was hardly a few meters away from
Oh
them.
crap.
But they chose
Factory.
to stare at me with a creepy smile instead.
Guys, we're gonna go to
I'll never forget the
factory,
way that they
okay?
looked at
Let's
me.
see what happens. Let's see what
It
fruit
was
we
as if
get
a
from the
predator was
factory.
eyeing its prey.
Go.
Hey everyone, I hope you all enjoyed
Yay,
these
ally!
stories. If you ever want to submit your own, you
I
can
sent
do
you an
so
ally
at
request.
southerncannibal.com.
I'm gonna take it.
Have a good night, everyone. And remember to always stay hungry.
Why is this saying stay hungry? That is the most weirdest thing.
I don't know.
I can't. Wow, look up.
Wow.
I don't think it's that much. It's gonna be mastery, so I gotta do it.
Yep.
The other problem is got Buddha spammer, so like.
Guys, let's see what fruit we get though.
Buddha boy versus the leopard who gets most damage. Probably the Buddha. Yeah, I was right. It was the Buddha. A 420.
Wait. That's not spring, that's spirit.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Whoa, you guys
Before we get into these stories, I wanted to give a warning for story number 2, for sexual abuse of a minor. So if you don't want to listen to stories like
What is this lock?
I'll have the story labeled in a pinned comment in case you want to skip it. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of moving
spring fruit.
So videos might be kind of all over the place. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, guys, I just got spirit from factory. At first, I thought that said spring, but no, it said spirit.
But by Wednesday, I
Jesus!
definitely have things like normal. I just have a lot going on right now. So
Oh, 29 minutes till I can roll. Let's see if I can roll it. Let's see if I can roll another spirit. What do you got? Okay. If anybody is watching this stream, chat down below what you think I'm gonna roll. And we'll see if anybody gets it right. And whoever gets it right gets the fruit.
That there are mentions of child abuse, sexual assault, and suicide in this story. And it can be a little dark and upsetting. My name is Alicia, and I'm 21 years old. I've lived in the same house most of my life until I moved away at 18. Let me explain the setup of our house and neighborhood to you. I live in a cul-de-sac, which is essentially a U in the neighborhood.
Let's see.
And there's also houses surrounding with an outlet. Behind us we have neighboring houses. One specifically that was my childhood best friend. For privacy, I'm going to be changing everyone's names. My friend Alice Bella is the youngest of 2 siblings, who aren't really relevant to the story.
Okay, well, nobody commented her. We'll just wait. It's fine.
As we got older. She got into drinking and hanging out with older guys, but that's besides the point.
Well, chat, we're just gonna be waiting for Michael to get back.
I remember her dad, whom I'll call Dirtbag, was always a little off.
No, listen to whatever he's listening to.
Bald. He wore old Looney Tunes sweatshirts, and
Well-
from what I can remember, he didn't work.
So yeah, that's
I didn't know
nice.
it at the
Got
time, but
another.
Dirtbag
That's oh wait, I
emotionally
rolled
physically
spirit.
abused his wife.
So I roll spirit, then I roll gravity, then I get a dragon, then I get a.
Father.
Okay, Michael has the spirit that I gave him, and now I have another spirit.
Dirtbag was
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
always
Leo.
around.
Got it. That's what I'm gonna do.
I remember one time that he took us swimming, and he was just sitting on the edge watching us. Until he then
So
came over
yeah,
and jokingly
what do you
threw
think?
us in the
What do you?
water. Dirtbag Dirtbag always made me feel really uncomfortable.
I don't know what I'm gonna roll,
I'd
but
often
hopefully
spend
it's
the
something
night at
good
Bella's
though.
house, and in her room she had a bunk bed.
I
would
said,
often
"Oh,
sleep on the
spring
bottom.
fruit," and then
I
no, that
remember
doesn't say
distinctly
spring.
feeling
It says
between my
spirit.
legs. It was Dirtbag. This had actually happened for years, until Dirtbag and his wife had their last child. And I guess that was enough for his wife, and then she divorced him. Around this time, I was 10 years old, and it had been going on for most of my childhood. Dirtbag had introduced me to one of his church friends, and they both were sexually assaulting me. I remember one time I was around looking for Bella, and Dirtbag said she wasn't home yet, as he creepily watched me play Barbies. Once we got older, Bella and I were drinking and talking about Dirtbag, and lo and behold, he had been sexually assaulting
Well,
not
I'm
only
just
me,
waiting
but
for
his
me to be
sister
able to
and brother as
roll
well.
for Legendary Sword Dealer to
I don't
spawn.
know if her mom ever knew about it, but Dirtbag's still
Oh yeah,
out
just
there,
join back.
still free. He even has a whole new family. He tried to contact my dad, which at the time he was breaking a restraining order. Dirtbag burned his ex-wife's
You know what?
personal
Screw it. I'm
things
gonna
in
do
her
a ship
backyard,
raid now.
like her journals, jewelry, and her clothes. As you can imagine,
I'm gonna do a
this
ship
really
raid. What do you think
affected
I'll
me
get
a
from
lot
that?
into adulthood, and it even caused suicide attempts. Whenever I think about moving
Let's see what
forward,
we get from a ship
I never
raid.
feel comfortable with my
Sorry
kids
that I
staying
can't bring you
alive
guys
at anyone
with
else's
me
house.
because Michael's the one that's streaming. Okay, I won't
This is a
tell
story
you
about
what
a
I get. I'll
neighbor
just
2 houses
bring
down
back
from me
whatever
when
I
I was a
get, and then
kid.
I'll show you.
In the house lived 2 people.
Oh, fiery
A
rose. That's
middle-aged
good.
man and his very sick mother. I'm not
Here,
really
let's
sure
go out in the
what his
middle of the
mother
ocean
had,
and wait for a ship
but she was
raid.
sick for as much of my childhood as I can remember.
Zoom zoom.
However, the story isn't much about her, but more so her son, Kyle. For some background, Kyle had a metal plate in his head from being in the military. He added what some may call an extra story to the roof of his house out of metal scraps from the junkyard. This included a long metal walkway resembling a slide that jutted out from the back of the roof and reached the ground. I would often see him up there. Honestly, I always thought that part was really cool. He also had kids, but he wasn't allowed to see them at all, ever. I don't know why. He had 2 double doors facing the street that led to his basement, and every time I passed them, I thought of Silence of the Lambs for some reason. He always wore a black shirt and black pants every single day, and had a really creepy smile. I spent a lot of time outside as a kid. I absolutely loved being outside, and I would play in my yard as often as I could. Kyle started speaking to me when I was around 8 years old. He walked my yard and he asked me if I wanted to see a magic
waiting
trick.
for ship raids.
As a child, I was extremely social and talkative, especially with adults. But something about Kyle scared me right away. It was like I could feel inside of me that he was not safe. And this was before I even knew that he wasn't allowed to be around his children. Despite this, I said yes, and I let him show me the magic trick. This led to him frequently coming to stand in my yard and show me magic tricks or card tricks. When I got a little older, around early teens, Kyle would stop showing me magic tricks. Instead, he just wanted to talk to me. I don't ever really remember what he spoke to me about. I remember questioning everything, wondering if he really was a bad guy, because he really did seem nice. And I mean, he had never done anything bad to me. However, I just couldn't stop being creeped out by him. I got this awful feeling whenever I was around him. Around this time, I'd spend a lot of time sitting on my porch late at night, anywhere from around 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. During this time, Kyle began shining red laser lights at me from his porch.
More waiting.
As far as I know,
But it's crazy
because
because like I rolled 3 blizzards and I've gotten 2 spirits. What's next? Another dragon?
Shit out of me whenever it happened. I would
What do we
usually
do
get
with
up
it?
and
We
then
both
just
have
go
a
inside for
dragon.
the rest of the night. But sometimes I'd get so pissed and just sit there out of spite. Around this time, he had stopped coming to speak to me as much. Also around this time, I had a cat named Marchie. Marchie was a solid black cat. I had gotten him when he was a tiny little kitten from a different city hours away after his mom had passed away from being hit by a car. Marchie was an indoor as well as outdoor cat. Quick rant. I would never let my cats outside now. Cats are a detriment to the environment, but also I would never want to risk my babies getting hurt or sick. I never wanted Marchie to go outside, but my parents would always let him. Well, one day Marchie didn't come home for 2 weeks. During this time, I was very distressed. I didn't know what to do, and I cried every day. Finally, one day he came home, and I was so happy that he was safe and with me again. I kept him inside for a while after this, because I didn't want to risk losing him again. One day, I was walking home from the bus when Kyle called out to me.
Bro, I'm probably gonna fall asleep in the call. Watch it happen, guys.
I don't think so, I replied. He got a little upset, and he explained that he had a black cat and that he saw him go inside my house. It then dawned on me that Marchie was missing for 2 weeks because Kyle had locked him inside his house. Yeah, there's no way that's true, I said, because I got that cat from a city hours away as a tiny little kitten. He can't be your cat. Kyle argued with me a bit more, and I got really pissed. I kept reiterating that there was no possible way Marchie was his cat because of how I had obtained him, and he just kept arguing with me.
Yay, he's
After a
finally
while, I
mad.
just got sick of it, and I finished my walk home. I couldn't believe Kyle kidnapped Marchie,
Oh, let's
and that he
go.
was also trying to tell me my own cat was not mine. This caused me a lot of distress. I decided that I needed to take action to protect Marchie from Kyle. I ended up doing something pretty stupid. I figured that Kyle must be confusing Marchie with another black cat. To mitigate this issue, my friend and I decided that it was best to bleach a skunk stripe.
Spin. Then I thought it said
Marchie's back.
spring, but no, it said spirit.
Oh,
CB's guy didn't even expect
so
that.
awful for exposing Marchie to those chemicals, as well as the subsequent deaths that followed.
Beside
But you have
green
to
zone.
understand, I was like 14 years old, and I had very little guidance or supervision in this world, and I was trying my best to save my cat.
It's in.
and I
It's
followed a
beside
dangerous situation
Snow
for him.
Castle, and it's
So please, no judgment.
It's in between
I would
not
never,
Snow. It's in
ever do
between
something like this
Snow
now,
Mountain
and
and
I feel
Darkbeard
absolutely
Summon.
awful about it. I would also like to say that he didn't suffer any chemical burns or health issues as a result of the bleach. Anyways, this seemed to work, at least for a while.
I'm unable to do much damage to
After
this guy.
several months,
You know that.
Marchie's bleach patch had completely shedded, and he was back to being a solid black
Two
cat.
moves that do damage.
By this point, Kyle had stopped messing with Marchie, thankfully. Also, by this point, Kyle never came to my house anymore. He never spoke to me at all
That's
anymore.
fine.
And that was fine by me. Though a part of me did always feel bad for him in a situation. A few years later, when I was 18, Marchie completely
If I give you
disappeared.
4, then we might
I don't
stand
know
a
if it was
chance.
Kyle related or not.
See, this happened when we were
I
doing
ended
the
up getting
flame
another cat by that
video.
time named Marzipan, who also went missing along with Marchie. This leads me to believe that someone took them, rather than something awful happening to them like a car accident. I still miss them so much, and I think about them all the time. I ended up moving away for a while, and I almost completely forgot all about Kyle. When I returned to the neighborhood a few years later,
Get away from
the
me.
house sat empty.
Yes, floor.
I had heard that his mother had either passed or went to a care facility,
Oh, that's
and no one knew what
lucky.
happened to him.
Well, not really. I have
I
to
still
do the,
always wonder if
what's the
he's
fourth
out
one?
there and what he's doing. Their house ended up burning down within a year or so of me returning to the neighborhood.
I was looking for ship
Squatters were living
raids.
inside it and had lit the place on fire. I remember being able to see the inside of it, as it had been almost cut in half by the fire, and just seeing stacks and stacks of flower pots everywhere. It was completely packed with stuff. It was the first and only ever time that I saw inside that house, and it looked exactly how I imagined. I never saw Marzipan again, but I saw a black cat that looked exactly like Marchie several times when I first moved back a couple years ago. I called out to him, and he would look at me, but he never came. I could never be sure if it was him. If it was like he had turned feral. He was never the friendliest cat in the first place, but I still loved him. I still think I see him sometimes, and I leave food out for him. I will always wonder about Kyle and Marchie and how they ended up.
Back to
and what
watching
they're doing
YouTube.
now. I just hope that Marchie's okay. And I also hope that Kyle is okay, even after all our weird encounters in my childhood. A little background. I'm a 32-year-old female, and this happened when I was around 13 years old. Growing up, I didn't live in the fancy
I got some dark humor, Michael.
And my area was primarily co-ops and projects that were no more than 15 minutes apart.
No, I don't think it will.
Now,
Why are Americans so bad at Clash of
friends had older
Clans?
siblings that were my middle sister's age.
Because they already
and
lost
were
2
her
towers.
friends. God, I remember how annoyed they get whenever me and my friends would try following them all over the neighborhood. Needless to say, I remember one day going to hang out in the project about 10 minutes down the street from where I lived at the time. There was a pool in this project, and it was the middle of summer. So my friends and I hung out by the pool all day from open to close. As the pool was closing, my friends and I planned out a huge game of chase. We all agreed to meet in front of the pool steps and start the game, and then run off to our respective houses to get changed. As my friend, let's call her Kay, and I were running back to our place to get changed, we both then saw a bright flash out of the corner of our eyes. We both just stopped for a moment, turning to see where the flash came from. Not finding a source and thinking it was just a passing car, we both turned back around and kept running back to her place. Fast forward about an hour and a half or so, and we called the game in. We then started to hang out in the grass by my friend Kay's place. As my friends and I were talking, Kay had asked us, "Hey guys, did anyone else see the random flashes when running down this way?" We all just stopped talking and looked at each other, with a face knowing exactly what she was talking about. "Yeah, I saw it too, but I just thought it was the cop lights or something," I say back, not even fully believing my own words. Just as we were about to shrug it off, we had all seen a flash of light and shut right up. Before we could even say anything, we saw another flash coming from the second floor window. Before anyone could react, one of my guy friends starts looking up and then yells at whoever was up there, giving them the finger and basically acting like an ass, as most preteen guys do. Well, of course, this didn't go over well, and the next thing we know, the camera person comes out, and it's the local weird man. A little background of this guy. He would always
I'm just
walk
waiting
around the
for
project offering
CDs or
popsicles
something
and
to spawn.
lollipops, as well as other candy to the kids. Cliche, I know. And that would be without their parents there.
My
Before we
main
can say
goal
anything,
right now is to
creepy
get
cameraman
Leo
takes
from a
bunch of pictures
shipwreck.
of my friends and I.
Impossible.
I remember pointing and yelling the obvious.
Jezu!
"Hey, he's taking pictures of us!" And we all start yelling at him, mouthing off to him to
The
stop
wiki
taking
literally
pictures of us.
says it's impossible
This
to get
scene just
a
egged him
not
on,
cap.
and he starts taking even more pictures of us. Thank God that I remembered that my sister was hanging out with a few of her friends right across the project. I then turned to Kay and whispered to her, "Stay here and keep him distracted. I'm gonna go get my sister and her friends." Now, it usually takes my tiny self roughly about 5 minutes to get across the project, but on this night, I swear it took all of 30 seconds to get from one end of the project to the other. I ran up to my sister with teary eyes, completely out of breath and shaking like a leaf, not able to get a single word out no matter how hard I tried. "Dude, what's up? Take a few breaths and calm down. What's going on?" My sister says to me in her calm big sister voice. In between wheezes, I blurt out in a very panicked, whiny voice, "There's an older guy over there taking pictures of us." I will never forget the look on my sister's face when she asked me, "Are you fucking serious?" It was so serious and fierce. To this day, I've never seen that same facial expression on her face. And she has a 6-year-old daughter, so that's saying something. As I then screamed, "Yes, he did." My sister grabbed me by the arm.
Okay.